Hello, and welcome back to the Commander's Guide to Casting the Last Spell. I'm Deadstar, and we're back here in Gildenburg number 2. Following the first night, which went pretty much the same as the first time we were here, we have some level ups to do, and some town building to get done. Straight damage on Bradford's decent. Could have been hoping for more. None of these are outstanding, but isolation is always good, plus isolation is enhanced by his pistol's grappling shot, so we could get some value out of that. Having defended Gildenburg the first time, we now have these two new columns of skills. They are more set than the other ones. Like, when you get a color, you usually know what you get. I think they only have a little bit of variation. I'm gonna get sheer just for the... No, I think that sheer is really one of my favorite first tier skills. Accuracy, but she already has 23, we're probably good. Looking at block, because it's rare, but like, feels a little bad just to pick a standard 5% damage, but But that'll multiply against physical damage, and now I feel a little better about it. Not a lot of great first tier choices here. I'm gonna take Fatality since she's melee. Might get some use out of it, but not my favorite. And again, just straight damage across the board. The negative 18% damage is because she's an elf inside the Haven. Ignore that, that's not accurate. A rare isolation, though, for 20% damage, well, 20% isolation value, which translates to 20% damage on an isolated target, is really great. So that's a pretty good level up. I'm happy with that one. Continuing the trend of not being particularly happy with what I have in my first perk picks, I start looking at Urban Hate. An experience gain modifier is nice early. Is it worth it? I've got Monogrowth, which I do like, but usually only if the second one right below it is fueled by magic. It's Gildenburg. It's not going to be a rough haven. And I don't really like my choices. Perseverance could have been, but she's got a wand with undodgeable for the moment, so it doesn't really help. Sentry. There's a lot of interesting elf skills, I'll say. Like, I don't think I'd remembered Sentry, which could be really useful on, like, maps where you really spread out. This is not going to be that. So I'm going to give Urban Hate a try, just to get some extra XP out of it. We'll see how it goes. These are some really nice pants for a day one reward. Could have taken the longbow for Bradford, but considering his traits and everything kind of lead him towards the pistol with momentum and isolation. Although longbow does have isolation bonuses. Oh, I forgot about that, but it doesn't do anything with the momentum. Just window shopping. We don't have enough money to screw around and buy things, although like that light armor would be really nice. Yeah, what is this place? Seems like a good question. Okay. So it seems like the light being maybe actually created this to help us, and the dark being is here just to get dark essence. Should we really be giving it dark essence? Or tainted essence? Seems like that might be a bad plan in the long run. I mean, I do like upgrades. These things are nice, but what exactly are we doing? Magic orbs are a fun mage weapon that deal an isolation damage. Their primary attack amplifies your isolation stat, I think by 75%. So it's real fun. Now, with our few workers, we're going to do much like we did the first time around, although I'm going to try to do it a little bit more efficiently. And we're going to dig up ruins, and we're going to build houses. The 12% gold increase is going to get noticeable here. I think without that Apocalypse handicap, my build could have been complete by the end of day 2. And I'm going to end up a little short of that. Also because I may be doing something a little silly. Typically, I have not ever started the Degenerate Corpse strategy on such a fresh save file. So there are a few upgrades and omens and a few things that I'm just used to having, which I don't right now. And I'm a little unsure how that's going to affect things, but I do know that there are 2 things in the Haven that are going to affect what I plan on doing. We only got 7 workers, but also we can just destroy fences. Hey, look at that! That reached a new threshold for Urban Hate. Hooray! Destroying a fence got me 8% more experience for habitually red. Yay! I could probably knock out another 10 fences for another thing. And there's really not too much of a reason I shouldn't, but you'll see why next time. For this, it's going to be more of the same and more defense. And also more background kitten noises. I see you. So we do have something to spend our materials on this time around that's not walls. And I'll get to the next build phase. I could start building it now, but I'm just not. There's no real reason that I shouldn't, but also they weren't going to do anything this turn, or this night. And just before I hit start, I was counting how many tiles worth of ruins there are. I think it's 9, because there's another well off screen. So I need 9 workers tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the ruin 3. So there's 12 workers worth of ruins to dig up tomorrow, which is perfect if I can get all the housing I need. And also, these clawers started off way over here. Kind of out of position for me on the first turn. I think that was the moment when I realized that Bradford needs to take a step or 2 of momentum to get a kill with a single pistol shot. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. This feels a little dense. Every time another turn and another batch comes in out of the mist, it always feels a little bit overwhelming. No matter how secure I think I feel at the end of one turn, the start of the next turn is always kind of that moment of, ooh, this doesn't look good. Well, if each oh, excuse me. If each hero gets about 5 kills a turn, though, I think we're on pace for keeping the horde down. Oh, I think also here is when I realized that clawers, or I'm sorry, dodgers are just straight upgrades to regular clawers. Whereas Kindled are a trade-off, high resistance for dealing magic damage and low HP. Dodgers just seem to be straight better. I guess they do magic damage instead of physical, so less damage to armor. But they have more HP and more defensive values. So they're just harder to kill. I guess theoretically they're trading offense for defense then. This seems like a lot of claws for Night 2. Just 3 heroes, barely out of starter kit. Actually, all we have are those pants. No, I was checking. I sort of wish Fatality was just dependent on the enemy having the wounded state, like the severe wounded state, rather than an actual HP threshold, like a numeric value. I think that might make it too powerful, but I don't know. It feels underwhelming as is. That needs to roll max or a crit to kill. But we can shoot it and then grapple. So we need a little bit more damage on Bradford. It's not terrible that he can gain some extra damage on momentum to get kills, but obviously shooting in one under any circumstance is better. Oh, just really leaving him alive with single-digit health. I guess we can go, like, Finger of Death them next turn with Sir Apprentice. Hammer, always a good weapon. I think I underutilize its the big stun mana attack. But its basic attack does so much damage, and its secondary attack is really great for clearing out multiple targets. So. I really should have maybe thought this turn a little more. I mean, depending on HP values, Apprentice could just be going over there and just doing Touch of Death to like 3, maybe 4 things. But look at this pack of zombies. I'm sorry, clawers. Very dense. Oh, I love it when they're shoulder to shoulder. Seven versus 8. Look at that. I think it was only 2 kills, but still left 6 of them at like single-digit health. Again, if I wanted to game plan around it a little better, I probably could have made better use of Fatality here. And I can't believe those zombies are getting so distracted by the corpse piles. And you did see it correctly, they did miss the corpse piles. If you pay really close attention to them when I'm shooting them in the stats in the top right corner, you'll see that the clawers have negative 20% dodge reduction. So I guess they just have a 20% chance to miss anything. Like, even things with no dodge, like buildings, corpse piles, or heroes without dodge. Magic Missile is pretty nice, but I feel like 4 mana for 4 half-strength attacks is usually not great. Although, you know, killing like 10 things in a turn is pretty sweet. But Fireball can hit 5 targets all the same for the same mana cost and is armor piercing. Although I suppose Fireball requires things being clustered around a focal point. And the time it really took me to pay attention to things, we went from a very dense horde to just there's stragglers left. Some good old Grapeshot and some Magic Missiles really did some work on him. Hey, come on, it's over. You can stop attacking my chair now. Where are you? Alright, we got her. Oh, look at that clean panic meter. This is why I figured that the panic challenge on the Apocalypse setting wasn't really gonna matter much. Sometimes you can get some panic, but really it's not too hard to get through most nights with no panic. In any case, that's been the end of how much Gildenburg 2 is gonna represent or look alike to the first run. The building phase of the next video is gonna look the same, because like I said, I got ruins to build and workers to house. But tomorrow night's gonna be real different, so stick around and I'll see you in the next one.